Good morning, gardeners. Happy September. I can't believe it. I can't believe it's September. So we are under, my husband and I, a project here at Louisa Cottage, which is the landscaping around Louisa Cottage, and it's our raised bed area. And I want to video this and encourage you to comment and give me your ideas. Let me tell you my vision, and then I'd love to hear about what plants you think would be great in this area for this area of my garden. I visualize this area being more structured than my other gardens. So having more evergreens and boxwoods and, different variegations and leaf textures and things like that. And then I do want to keep it in a very specific color palette, which would be blush pinks. I'd go a little darker than blush with the pink if I needed to have a little pop. The chartreuse green, white, and lavender. Some purples. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. And let me show you the area. And I would love to get some input on what you think would look good where. It's all under construction. We're getting the soil for the raised beds this Friday. And I'll be planting in the spring, planting in the winter, planting in the spring mostly, except in a couple of spots that I have some things. And I have some things I can divide. This is an area that has a lot of shade on one area, and then it gets a lot of sun in another area. So I have a little bit of a combo going on there in this area. So let me show you. And then please comment. I would love to hear your input. So this is the walkway into the Louisa Cottage garden. And this right here is a little retainer wall that my husband just built this weekend. So what I visualize here, I have a James Galway rose, climbing rose right here. And that doesn't have a rebloom. So I think I'm going to plant another rose on the other side of the trellis that'll give me more blooms when James Galway is done. And then I was going to plant some of these boxwoods here. I forget the name. They are green velvet boxwoods. We have them in the front of our yard, and I like them. And I was going to space them out. And then in between, I was going to plant some lavender and see if I'm successful. Because we're in Massachusetts and Zone 6B, some people say they have success with lavender here, and some people say they don't. So I want to see how it looks. And if it doesn't look great, I was going to put in some, salvia or some, Roseanne geranium. But, tell me what you think about that. And then over here, there's a little bit of extra room here right up against Louisa Cottage where I was thinking of planting 2 Ancient Mariner David Austin shrub roses, because then I have that pink and the structure, and then some lavender, to kind of start off walking into my raised bed area. These 2 raised beds my husband built last year, and I put most of our vegetables in there. Maybe I'll change that idea. I don't know. And on this arbor, I have 2 David Austin Generous Gardener roses, one on each side. I'm hoping that I get the blush pink. So far, the blooms have been white, but I've read that that's because it's a young rose and it takes time for that to happen. So right here in this corner, there's an unsightly area back there. I wanted to put something tall right there. That's not going to get too big, that's not going to encroach on the roses or the boxwood. So I need an idea for right there, maybe some sort of a structural topiary, or I'm not quite sure, maybe a tall grass, I don't know. So give me some ideas about that. And then here we go into the raised bed garden area. I'm going to have a little bistro set in here. And so these are the beds that get the most sun, that kind of overlook my pool for the majority of the day. So this bed that is also the David Austin Generous Gardener bed, I have this area, and then we have this L-shaped bed here. And give me your ideas. I'm excited to hear them, so it gets a good amount of sun there, the whole day. We're going to put some crushed stone in between the beds, decorative crushed stone. It'll go all the way down there and up to that rock over there. And then this area, sorry for my little garden cart, this area, again, unsightly here. So I want to plant whatever I plant over there. I'd like to plant maybe something similar that grows tall to kind of hide that open space right there in that bed. And then, so I have this whole area. So this gets a little sun in the morning, a couple hours, 2-3 hours of sun there, and then shade. And then over here, it gets the most amount of shade. So, forgive me with the weeds, but we'll get those out. And I am stumped at what to put in this bed up top. I was thinking I needed something tall, like a statement piece or something in there that really kind of, is the perfect spot, but it gets mostly shade. So what is that item? I don't know. And then, of course, I have the bed that's right in front of it. That's like an L-shaped, also mostly shade, which I was thinking about some astilbe and hostas and lungwort and maybe ferns and things like that over here. And then I can always put in some annuals there is what I was thinking. And then this bed here, it will get more sun. The sun's not completely up yet. It's, 9 o'clock in the morning. So this will get more sun than back here. And then these two beds get a lot more sun. So I want to bring in more structure, like I said, kind of repeat some boxwoods in some of this area. And I was thinking about, some more hydrangeas back there, maybe, some good climbing roses for the fence. I don't know. Tell me your thoughts. I'm interested to hear them because I definitely have a vision in mind and I want to carefully plan this out so that I can bring that vision to life. Because sometimes, I don't know about you, but sometimes I still suffer from going to the garden center, buying things I love, finding a place for them, and later saying, that doesn't look cohesive. I need to pull that out, put it somewhere else or something like that. It is definitely a challenge to do that for me. So I'm interested in hearing what you have to say. I mean, I have a lot of hydrangeas in my garden. The pool area is filled with hydrangeas at this time of year. But I also have a lot of hostas and I have a lot of roses. But I love them, although roses are definitely higher maintenance. I don't know. What do you think? Definitely interested in all your comments and input. So thanks so much and have a great day. I look forward to reading your ideas. Have a great day in the garden.